Oh, you know what I meant to do was make a coffee real fast. I think I'm probably gonna do that. Let's go like countdown. Oh, nice. There's one on here. Yeah, I shouldn't need long. 3 minutes. Just go. Nice. Okay. BRB. I'm gonna grab coffee. Okay. Didn't even use it all. I'll have to remember this thing. Wonder if you can make it bigger or something. There's nothing on the first one. Interesting. That one's gonna go. Not sure. One thing I should do also before I get too far is maybe YouTube chats. You know what? If it will let me, I pop the chat out. If it will let me pop it out, we'll try it and see if we still get weird, lame spam. If it does, then I'll back off. Yeah, I've been doing. Okay. Looks like we got everything. That one. So now I'm going to look at the group already in use PR here. This is where I had just like started trying to look into this on Saturday morning, and my computer froze up on me, and I decided to try to fix it instead of keep going on CircuitPython stuff. Ultimately ended up making it worse. Got the backup going. I think where we want to look, so like I had started kind of down the road of trying to get the displays object and trying to check if the thing inside of it is already created or not. But I kind of wonder if we're inside of here, so maybe there's a different way to do this. So this says set root group, which goes into display core. This is where I really wish like the control clicks would work. I don't understand why it, oops, I don't understand why it can't find it. Like, reason its links don't work quite as well. Find this. Root group does not equal null, and root group is not in group. Can we just do like CircuitPython splash in group? If we can get that as a Boolean, then we can just say back inside of our display constructor CircuitPython splash.inGroup. If that's true, then don't add it to the new one. If it's not true, then do add it to the new one. Because essentially the first display, it will be false. We'll add it. And then the next display, it will no longer be false. It won't get added again. Let's not do the if yet. Let's start nice and easy, always with prints. See if I can do it this time. I don't think I'm gonna be able to though, honestly. I don't know if that's necessarily think that's right. Circuit Python splash. So is it, can I do it this way in group? There's spots. Oh my gosh. Might actually be correct. Wow. Where's that, Mel? Monster mask. Yes, let's do that. Okay. If we can unplug the Pico. I'll just wait, actually. Let's make the build first. Should I do clean? I don't know. I'm just gonna do it without clean. I don't know. Should I do this? I kind of have gotten used to the V1 builds, honestly. And I do think I'll go with no reds or whatever. Dash O? Is it? No, I don't even remember the flag for it, but okay, that doesn't work. Valid argument. Is it a dot if it's this thing? Or do we need the ampersand? See, this is where like my C fundamentals are basically non-existent. I'm kind of just like, guess and check different symbols here. Nope, that one's not it either. I think maybe it would be dot then? Would it be dot? Boolean. Oh, okay. Yeah, this wants a string, but we gave it a Boolean. I think we want this, otherwise it will be like its own line. What? binary. How do we print a Boolean? Or like convert a Boolean to a string? Okay, maybe we should have done the if statement then, I guess. If this, then we print one thing, else we print another thing. Guess gets us to the same place. Kind of. Else, not true. Crazy on me. Whoa. Okay, made it farther. Not sure exactly how long the builds take on this one. Maybe a couple minutes. Oh, well, that went really fast, actually. I guess it's because I didn't do it clean, though. The clean build was like, I don't know, maybe a minute or 2 or 3. I didn't actually time it, and I didn't have Starship on yet, which that's one of the nice things that Starship does, is give you the time there at the end of all your commands. That seemed like it worked. So this should print extra true falses. If this concept, if this this avenue is gonna work for us, then this will print true falses. Did I make it to bootloader? Is there a NeoPixel? Oh, I see it. Really bad about. Okay, I'm just gonna use that bootloader one. I don't want to reboot it a million times, because like, I don't want to jinx anything, but that could potentially make the computer lock up too if the USBs are getting plugged and unplugged a lot like that sometimes. So, what? Oh, yeah, no, I know. Interesting, okay. That one in there. Alright, I moved it over here. Flashing group false. And in my case, it printed false twice, but I think that's because we cheated ever so slightly, right? We just made it blank. Or I think I cheated even more. I went inside it here, didn't I? We couldn't do it at the user code level. I call it cheating. I mean, it's not really cheating, but change the code inside the library. Didn't we set it to blank after we initialize the first display. Yeah. Well, not blank, but an empty group. Blank for all intents and purposes. We might have been able to do none. I don't know if I tried it that way or not, but it might have worked as well. That's why it's false both times now, though. If we take this out, we should get false true, and then we should crash, I think. Why does this not show unsaved? It's like a separate thing. Inside the settings somewhere. Display. Oh, it went to safe mode. Right, so that's another thing actually that happens, but I think that that might be unrelated. That one I think is to do with writing files. Yeah, we got false true there. Theoretically, we should get... Or, okay, well, also the next thing I tried was try catch, but that... I tried to catch this, but the problem is mask doesn't get created. If we take that back out, we will get back to the original exception. Which is, well, but now we'll probably have the hard fault because it's saving the code, I think. Yeah. There we go. False true, and then group already used, and that is what we are trying to fix right there. That was the reported error, and it does look like this should solve it, so I'm glad with a few extra days to think upon it. This actually, I think, is probably much easier than the road I was going down, which was like trying to check displays object and see if that's already done or not, right? Like, this one's actually nice and easy. So we can basically just say only add this. Only add this if it is not already in a group. So the first time it will add it, the other time it will not, and then I guess theoretically we could also like flop this here, put this over there, take this out, and get rid of all this. So if the splash is not in a group, then set the root group of this new display to the splash. Yeah. Putting a box into a cat fort. 16 seconds again. Get back to bootloader. Is there a command? Is there a command I could run from CLine terminal that would do that instead of REPL? Like, does Disco Tool have that? REPL install. REPL backup circup-git son. Look like it. Connect to the REPL. The problem is, I think any way that can do that is gonna have to connect to serial, and TO is already connected. So we'd have to like close TO actually from the other window. Maybe the answer is we should have TO open in here instead. We wouldn't have to bounce back. So this time we should not get true false printed. We should theoretically have the terminal show up on one display, but then ultimately I think it's going to get overwritten in this script with the party parrots in this case. I don't actually have the camera set up either. Let me do that real fast. Not that much going on, but hey, whoa. Still 226. Firefox is back to normal, by the way. Went back after I rebooted. Got off the stream earlier. So this now works without raising the exception, which proves that our fix inside the core works. So that should be good for what we need. Because at this point we're not handling it in our user code at all. We don't have any try catch there. We're not handling it in our library code at all either. So technically what's happening is this display is getting created. It would get set to the CircuitPython splash. So if we did not go on to change it here very shortly, then it would stay showing the splash, the terminal. Technically it's showing at this point, but we go on to set up the right display here. At this point, it's gonna do our new check inside the core. It's gonna say, is the splash already inside of a group? In this case, it will be true because it's in the left display group. It's not gonna add it to here, so we move on. And then that's basically the end of the relevant code inside the constructor here, which means we're getting to here, which means we're going to be getting to here and going left display show, right display show, which is why we end up with our party parrots there. So during that window, even though we weren't in it that long, basically from here all the way out to here, technically that display was showing CircuitPython splash and would have failed under the old version, but managed to succeed under this one. What does it do with REPL? Does that bother the REPL? So if I, oh right, we're not in here. So if I do this, nice. That rebooted? Yeah, hard crashed, in fact. Does it always do that if we just Control-C? Because this time I did not change the code, did I? So you could actually see the splash there for a second. I didn't catch that the first time, but... Oh, no, as soon as you Control-C, actually. Okay, but that's a separate issue, I believe. And I think it's going to be easier to troubleshoot that on a different device, probably. The ESPs are really nice for troubleshooting hard faults, in my experience, because they have that debug pin. And if you connect to that debug pin with like an FTDI thing, then you can get what is essentially a stack trace out of there or something. You have to like do a couple of steps and convert it, but if all goes well, it points you towards where it broke, which is nice. So I think we probably want to try to do it on one of those if we can, which means we basically need to get back to the state of doing these hard faults on an ESP32 based device with 2 displays. But I think we should PR this first, actually. Which means we'll have to get the remote and all that stuff set up like I was talking about before. So get remote is still on origin, get remote, rename origin Adafruit, get remote, add foamy guy. I'm not going to copy paste it from there. Like I could just copy paste this and change Adafruit to foamy guy, but I'm not going to do it because I messed it up too many times. Do actually have to go to foamy guy here as well though. Copy this. This is not at all what I copied. Okay, remote add foamy guy. Get fetch foamy guy. Oh, I hadn't done anything with ESP yet on this computer. I hadn't done the IDF submodule. I did fetch submodules, the main one, but I think it doesn't. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think it does. I think there's still more IDF stuff that doesn't actually happen if you only do make fetch submodules until you go to try to make an ESP build, which we're going to have to end up doing. So we'll do the install and that kind of stuff as well. What's next? So we want to make a new branch. Git checkout -b new branch. Branch is going to be fix multi-display terminal. That's awfully... What is the name of the issue? Let's start there. Group already in use. Display in use. Multi-display group in use. From Adafruit main. No track. Now we're on our new branch. We can go recommit. Can I run it from here? I may not have it. I do. Okay, it got installed with something I did. 2 minutes. Nice. Okay, we're good there. Anything else? Double check the diff. Only one file. Nice. Yeah, just if statement around what we used to do. One thing I guess maybe to think about here would be, can this ever be null? Because if that's null, this is definitely a problem, right? But if that's null, I mean, we were passing it here, but there is a checker inside of there to check if it's null. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how this comes into existence the first time. It seems like something takes care of it and we can count on it to be there. But yeah, I don't actually know how it comes to be. So they will have to tell us if there's any reason to think we might need to guard against that better. Let's see, I think we can do this. Trying to get some new YouTube music playlists going here. It's gotten to the point where it's recommending me songs kind of in this same like playlist over and over again. I'm trying to bounce it around a bit further. Listen to some stuff that I don't get to as much. Only add CircuitPython splash to display if it's not already in another group. So I will say, does it hard crash on Control C as well? I hope we did not introduce the hard fault on Control C. I don't think so. Here's what we'll do is I'm gonna commit this. I don't know how globally we're talking, but I don't think we want that. Not sure. My first time committing through here, so it should still give me, when I go to push, yeah, here it's gonna give me these choices, so we definitely want foamy guy. Then mine is behind by a lot just because I don't merge from main. This is my commit, the only change that I actually made. Well, the rest of this is just getting me back up to date with main. Well, getting this branch back up to date with main, I should say, not really me or my fork or anything, just this branch.